Hello everyone, welcome you all to AI Ki Pathshala, and today we are going to start a new topic called function in Python. This is very important topic as far as the Python or any other programming language is concerned. So be very alert, be very attentive, and be very listen carefully. Keep asking questions, keep putting doubts. Audio channel is open for all of you. You can any time interrupt in between and ask the questions. And at the same time, what I want, you should keep typing along with me and seeing the output at your end. This will give you so that you need to practice less after the class. I want you guys to keep practicing along with me so that 80-90% of your job will be done in this class. So you need to only do 20 or 30% of job after the class. And once again, whatever session I am conducting and whosoever is here, I am conducting it free of cost. No charges is there. So any of you who are listening to this recorded session can join me for the free sessions, which I often conduct every day at 10 p.m. IST. For this, you have to just go to the description section of the video and click on the Telegram link provided there and join my link so that you can get the regular update about the classes and everything and all those things. So let's start. I'm going to share you my screen and let me share you my screen. Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yes.
Kindly confirm me. Fine.
Yes.
So let me share you the sheet. I suppose today is the 20th session, na? Fine. Am I visible to you guys?
No, your screen is visible. You are not visible.
My screen is visible?
Yes.
Fine. So I switched off my video so that you can concentrate on the board on your laptop, not on my screen. In between, when I will need to communicate with you directly, then I will switch on my video. This will be a good thing. So see, first thing is that what is function? Let's try to understand what is function and why we use function. So I will try to explain you all these things with the help of a code, simple code I will take, and then I will explain you these things. So first, let's understand. We can define the function as its function is a group of related statements that perform some specific task. And second thing is that it avoids repetition and makes our code reusable. Third thing is that function help break our program into smaller and modular chunks. Now, I have written these things. Let's understand. First, I am going to write you the syntax of the function. Syntax, how the function is written, I am going to write the syntax here. How you are going to write the function? First thing, you have to use this def keyword. This is called keyword, which is defined inside already defined inside a Python. So whenever you start writing any function, you have to start with this def. Fine. After this def, you have to give one space. So I have given one space. After that space, you have to write the name of the function. So what you have to write? Function underscore name. And after the function name, you have to put this parenthesis, double parenthesis. And inside this parenthesis, what we have to write? We have to write parameters, or it is also called argument, argument or parameters. After that, you have to put, after this parenthesis, you have to put one colon here. And when you press enter, it will automatically take the indentation of 4 space indentation that we have already discussed. And if suppose you want to, it is always a good practice, so that whatever function you are writing or whatever code you are writing in a programming, so you need to describe it, that what that function is supposed to do or what you are going to do that. For that, we are supposed to write a doc string. What is doc string? Doc string is something which is describing what you are going to do. It is simply a description of the thing that you are going to perform with that particular function, or you can write doc string not only in function, anywhere inside the Python programming. So let's see. So how you will write doc string? Simple way to write a doc string is to use triple quotation, because the doc string can range when we use triple quotation, when we need to write doc, let's write doc string, then close it with triple quotation. So when you need to write this, when this is used for multi-line commenting. You use the single quotation 3 times here and single quotation at the end when you want to write a multi-line comment. So this doc string is nothing but it is a comment. If you want to put some comment inside your function, that what your function is supposed to do or what it is supposed to perform, in that case you have to write. It's not a mandatory practice, it's not mandatory that you have to write, but it is suggested that if you write it, it will be much more readable and understandable by others who we, or even by you, if you come across, if you come after maybe few months, if you come and see the code, you will understand, yes, by reading the doc string, what I'm supposed to do, what this function is supposed to do. So this is nothing, this is basically a multi-line commenting. After that, you have to put the statement, the body of the function, statement or body of the function. You can say, I am writing you body of the function, body of the function. So, and that's done. So let me now explain you something here. Let me open my this thing. Yes. See. This is a keyword. We have already keyword. Keyword means we have already studied this keyword. Keyword is a reserved word in Python, which is or previously defined inside the it is a built-in thing that is already defined inside this Python. So whenever you use this word, this keyword def, it marks the start of function header. It marks the start of function header. Header. Second thing, this is called parameter or argument. Whatever value you want to pass to the function, that value is called parameter or argument. We will see this with the help of the next thing. We will see this. This is called colon. You already know, colon, and this is called docstring. This is called docstring, in which you are putting the description of what you are going to do. And after that, after the body of the function, if you want, it is not necessary, but if you want, we will see this. You can put return statement here, return. What does this return says? What your function is going to give you back, returning you something, value from the function. What your function is returning. What your function is statement to return from the function. In which this docstring is an optional. This is optional. If you want, you can put it. If you do not want, you can leave it. This is something called optional. Also, the parameter that you are providing to the functional, this is also optional. In some cases, this is also optional. In some cases, you need to pass this parameter or argument, and in some cases, you do not need to pass this parameter or argument. That's why I am calling it optional. And this return statement is also optional. This is also optional. We will see how this is optional. Are you guys able to understand this thing? If you want, you can write it for your understanding on your whatever notebook or anything. Is there any issue still here? Please.
Will you please repeat this optional? How many? What are the things that are optional?
Okay. What are the things that are optional?
Yeah.
See, this parameter argument, oblique argument is optional. This docstring that you are writing is optional. And this return is also optional. Fine. These three things are optional. That means depending upon the situation, you can either write it or you can leave it. Is it fine?
Yeah.
What is modular?
Okay. Modular means I am going to discuss these things. Modular means small modules. See, it happens. See, we have not yet reached modular chunks. But see, when there is a very large program, and in which you are supposed to write, let's say, 1000 lines of code. So what we do, we divide that code into small modules. Inside that modules, we write it. Inside that module, there comes the function. So this is how, matlab, for the time being, you just understand the modular means You are breaking a very large piece of your code into a smaller modules, so that it is easy for us to handle the code, and it is a standard coding practice. We will be discussing about the modules and all those things later in the course. After this function will over, thereafter, after some time, we will be discussing it in very details. Is it okay?
Okay.
Fine. So now let's move to the main thing, programming thing. Now let's see. I am writing one function. So first function I am writing def function name, let's write, and I'm putting this parenthesis and after colon, and let's this I am function body starts here. I'm writing function body starts. From here, it means here the body of the function starts. Since I put this hash before this, so this line will not get executed. Now I am writing pass. I have already taught you this pass statement, I suppose, in a very descriptive way. Some of you, if you who are new, I will make you understand these things. And thereafter, here the function body ends, and thereafter you have to call the function. What you need to do, you have to call the function. Call function in the code. What this is all about. So let's say this is one function and I am simply writing pass. What it means? See, whenever you write pass, see, you cannot leave a function blank. You have to write something inside a function. If you do not write anything inside a function, and if you run it, it will give you an error. It will throw you an error. And suppose you write some function and you do not want to write anything inside it and keep it blank. So in that case, you need to write this word pass. If you will write this word pass, you will not get an error. And the compiler will understand this function contains nothing if you write this pass. So now let's run this program. I'm not getting error. Now, how I need to call the function? This is a method of calling a function. function function underscore name. Whatever be the name of the function here that you have written, you have to call the function. What call means? That you are asking the function to come and perform that particular task which you are supposed to perform. So here I am calling my function. Since this function is doing nothing, as I have simply written pass, it will return me nothing. So let's run it. So I am getting nothing here. Now let's see one more thing. If I do not write pass here, if I simply do not write pass here, and if I am going to run this function, I will get an error. This is called incomplete input error. Because this functions must contain something. When you have initiated the function, the body of the function, if it doesn't contains, you have to write pass. Is everything clear till here? Am I get a quick yes or no?
No.
What is not clear to you?
When we have not written past, then why it's showing this error?
That I am telling you, na. You do not need, you cannot keep your function blank. If you want your function to blank, you have to write pass. And if you do not write pass, you will get an error.
Then something we have to write here.
Yes, something you have to write. If you want that your function should be blank, it is doing nothing, then you, in that case, you have to write this pass.
Okay.
If you do not write this pass, then you will get an error. That is the same thing what I am asking. I am trying to explain you. Now this thing will become more clear to you in the next example. Let's see how. See, I am defining one function. This function, let's call this function Anup. Fine. And
Fine.
let's print. This is the body of the function. I want to print my name is Anup. I love dancing. Let's see. I have written something inside this function. So this is the body of my function. Is this thing clear to you? Now,
Yes.
if I run this function, see, I have not written any doc string here, and I have not even passed any argument inside it. If I simply run this function, it get executed. Now, I want to call this function in my program or anywhere. So how I will call? For calling a function, you have to simply write the name. What is the name of the function here? What is the name of the function? Function name. What is the function name here?
Anu.
Yes. So if I simply write Anu and this parenthesis, and if I run this, I will get what is inside this function. This function wants to print this line, this statement. What this function is doing? This function is simply printing this statement.
Yeah.
So I am getting this statement when I call this function. Is this thing clear to you?
Yes, yes.
Now, let's print. Let's understand. I am writing another program for you. Def, you have to always start with def. Print underscore name. This is the name of my function. Okay. And I am passing one argument inside it. That argument is name. And now I am also passing a doc string inside this. So let's put a doc string. Let's put doc string. This function prints the name in name. Let's close this. So this is my doc string. And now after doc string, there comes the body of the function. I want to print the name of anyone. So let's write here, hello. And after that, let's put this thing, str and name. If you simply write this, and now I am going to run this program. Now, to call this function, what I have to do? I have to write the name of the function. So what is the name of my function? Any one of you? What is the name of my function? Here,
Print underscore name.
print underscore name. Correct. But this time, see, I have passed one argument here. This argument is called name. And this is a variable. This argument is a variable. So let's put one name. Let's put one name called Krishna. Krishna. Let's put one name Krishna. If you run this, is not defined. Okay. I am getting this error.
I'm also getting error.
Okay. Print underscore. Okay. Is function name. Okay. Let's see def print underscore name and name print hello. If you simply print, let's print name. So you have to put it here because hello and put it inside a parenthesis plus name. If you simply do this and run this, and if you run again, you will get hello Krishna. And if you want, then run this again and you will get hello Krishna. So see why I was getting error. I was getting error because I was passing an argument without a string. That's why. This is a string, so I have to pass this as a string. If you do not pass it as a string, still we will get this thing. I will explain you how. So see, what we are doing here, I am writing one function, and inside this function, I want to print the name. This function is prints the name. So what I'm doing here, print this hello plus name. So if I'm passing this Krishna here as an argument, what I am getting? Hello Krishna. So whatever name I will pass it here, it will print that name. Print underscore name. And if I will pass Ruchi here with the double quotation, let's say, or single quotation, it will print this. Hello Ruchi. Whosoever name I will. So what? Let's print something else. Sankar. Hello, Sankar. Sorry. Print underscore name Shankar. If you hello Shankar. So what it is doing, I have written one function here, and after that I have to simply call this function and pass a name as an argument. We will get this thing. We do not need to write this thing again and again. If you want to print this hello Krishna, hello Ruchi, hello Shankar, you have to write this again and again. But if you simply write one function and then simply if you keep on passing the argument, you do not need to write this again. Is this thing clear?
Oh, I am getting error.
You are getting error? See
Yes.
where you are getting error? If you are getting error, you can ping me your code in my chat box, whatever code you have written, so that I can check it out and clarify you why you are getting the error. If you are getting error, you can simply ping me your code.
Even if we don't write string name, we write string name, still we can get the result, same result.
What?
Here you have eliminated the string and you
Hmm.
have just written name. If I
Fine.
write string name, which you have written before,
Okay.
even though we get the same result.
Yes. Even though we will get the same result. If we simply write, we will get the same result. Because see what we are doing here, we are simply adding two strings here. What we are doing inside the print statement, we are simply adding two strings, this hello string and this name string. So here what I am doing, I am initially when I am writing this thing here, I am writing this uh, Krishna as a string. So I do not need to convert this into a string.
Okay.
If you do not do this, if you simply write this, then you have to write this, you have to convert that into the string. Otherwise, the Python will not understand. Let's not write Krishna here. Let's write something else. Let's write 1, 2, 3, 4. And
Hmm.
if you print this, you will get an error. But let's see. Copy it, paste it here. See, if I simply run this, I am getting the error. Now, if I put str here, str here, and now if I run this code, and now if I call print underscore name, and inside that I am putting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I run, I am getting this thing. Why? Because here I am not supplying it in string. But what is happening? I am converting this integer value into string by using the str here.
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Yes.
And if you write this thing as, let's say, ANUP Anup, and again run it, see what happened. Again, it is giving you same thing. Because it is already string, we are supplying
Yeah, yeah.
the string, and if this str function, it will convert the thing that is not a string into a string, but it is already a string. So you do not need to. But if we are supplying here value which is not a string, just before I have done it, which is an integer value, let's say this value, then what will happen? Then this str in that case will convert this
Integer value
integer
into
value
string.
into string value, and thereafter it is doing the concatenation here.
Okay.
Is it clear to you, Mr. Sankar?
Yes, yes.
So let me see. You have pinged me a code. Fine.
No, no, it's okay. I was doing a mistake. I mean,
Okay, you are doing
I
a
was not.
mistake. Fine.
Yeah,
So it is understandable by you.
yeah.
Other guys, others, have you understood this?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay, fine. Mr. Rakesh, now see, if I want to see what is my doc string, because doc is, this is my doc string, and or you can say a multi-line comment inside my function, and this is not at all executed by the Python, you already know it. But if I want to know what is inside my doc string, so what you can do, there is one thing. For this, you have to write here print, and then you have to write the name of the function first. What is the name of my function? Print underscore name is the name of my function. Dot underscore double underscore you have to put. Doc. Then again you have to write the underscore and underscore double underscore. And if you simply run this, you will get what is written inside your doc string. So see, this function prints the name. I have written this doc string. So I got this thing. This function prints the name. Let me comment here so that print doc string print doc string of the function Till here, any doubt? No.
I'm getting error
Error in what?
in the same code.
So you have to see after
Function
dot.
object has attribute.
See here. Why you are getting error? I am telling you. See, after dot, after name, there is a dot. After dot, you have to put
Yeah.
double underscore. See here. I have put one underscore.
Okay.
Thereafter, second underscore. And after this
Okay.
C also, you have to put double underscore. First underscore and then second underscore. Is this clear now?
Oh.
That's why
Yes.
you are getting an error.
Okay.
Fine.
Fine.
Now, I want to make you understand the function in a more better way. That's why I am giving you some, with the help of the code, I am going to explain you. So see, this is my first block of code. Here I have taken two variables. One is bike, and I have given the value of bike as true and car as true. And there is third variable called travel 100 kilometer, travel underscore 100 underscore kilometer, and this is bike or car. So now I want to print this. You have bike, I want to print this. You have car, and I want to print what is inside this car. You already know this F string I have discussed before. You can travel 100 kilometer, travel this or this, and this is a new line for slash n tells it to start with the lunar. If I simply run this code, I will get this thing. Is this thing clear to you or not? Because this is very simple thing. Tell me, quick.
Okay, bike true.
Mr. Shankar, Mr. Adarsh, please have a look and tell me, is this thing clear to you or not? Because I want to explain something else. That's why first I am giving you few examples so that when I will explain you the real thing, you will understand why I was explaining you this.
This thing is totally new for me.
For others, for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to go back to my previous sessions and revise
That's
it.
why.
Then
That's why.
these things will be very much clear to you, because I have explained in a very beautiful and very thorough manner. That's why I do not keep any this thing on time. I always I thought of taking this session only for 1 hour, and it goes on till 2 hours, or sometimes more than 2.5 2 hours. So because I do not put any constraint on explaining.
Okay, I will catch up.
So you go to the previous sessions, and if you look on, if you revise it, you will definitely understand, I suppose.
Sure.
You, Ruchi, and you, Mr. Shankar, please tell me, is this thing clear to you or not? Because I have done nothing here. Simply I am printing these things, nothing else. Yes?
Yes.
Mr. Shankar, you tell me. Because till you do not understand, I will not move ahead. because next thing is linked to this. I think Mr. Shankar has gone for a break or something. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So have you understood this thing, this block of code?
Yeah.
Fine. So now, same thing I am writing here. This is my second block of code. This is my block. I have done nothing. Everything is same. Simply I have changed the value of this bike. Here, value of bike was true and car was true. Here, value of bike was true and the car was false. So accordingly, I am getting the output here. Earlier, I am getting you have bike true, true. You have car true, and this time I am getting you have car false. So nothing I have changed here. Simply I have changed this, and accordingly I got the output. Is this clear?
Yes.
Mr. Shankar? Mr. Shankar,
Yes.
is this clear?
Yes.
Because I have done nothing new in this. Everything is same. Simply I have changed this true false thing. Accordingly, I am getting this output. Again, in the third block, this is my block 3. I am doing nothing new here. Simply I have changed the value. Earlier bike was true. Now I have done I have changed the bike to false, and this car was false. I have changed this car to true, and I am running this code. I am getting the output accordingly. Is any doubt till here? Please tell me. Ruchi? Hello, 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 hello,
Mm.
hello.
Yeah, no.
Understood?
Understood. Yeah.
This is my fourth block. Here also I have done nothing. Simply change the value of bike to false and car to false. So, if you see in all these 4 things, what I'm doing, I'm getting this output. Only thing that is getting changed is this true or false. This true, in this is true, this is true, and in the end, this is false, this is false. This is false, this is false. So see one thing, why my connection is coming out to be unstable? Is this so? Is my audio video clear to you guys? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. If whenever you
Yeah.
feel that my internet is not working or you're just interrupt. So see,
Okay.
every time I want this kind of output, but I want the value of this thing true and false or this thing to get changed. So you can see we have to write this many of code every time, this many code every time. Simply to change this value of true and false, I have to write the same block of code 4 times. This is my first block of code. This is my second block of code. This is my third block of code. This is my fourth block of code. And in all those 4 block of code, nothing is getting changed except this true and false. And I want to avoid this repetition of code again and again. That's why we are going to use function in this scenario. Just I am trying to give you one scenario, which is a very good scenario, so that you can understand the value of the function, what value function adds in your program. So now let's do the same thing with the help of function. So how you will do it with the help of function? I am simply writing this function. See, I am simply writing this function. whose name is travel or not, and I'm passing these two arguments. Bike, first argument is bike, and second argument is car. And this is the colon, and thereafter I'm writing this travel underscore 100 underscore kilometer bike or car. The same thing that you are writing here. And now I am printing the same thing what you are printing here. These same thing I have, whatever you are writing here, I have written the same thing. I haven't changed anything. But this time what I'm doing, I am first writing one function. I am defining this name. You can define any name, whatever. It's, I have defined this travel or not. You can write whatever name you want. But we usually write the name in such a way that whatever thing we are intended to do, that name convey that intention. So here the travel or not is the name I have written just to convey the intention what I'm going to do. And inside that function, I have written these things. These are the body of the function. And I have passed as an argument this bike and car. And now, if I run this code, let's run this code. So let's run this code here. And now call this function travel underscore or underscore not. And since we have passed an argument inside this function, so we have to pass an argument when we call the function. So what argument you want to pass here? Let's pass first true, comma, true. What it means? It means this true will get assigned to this bike, and this true will get assigned to this car. When I'm passing this as an argument here, true, it simply means this true is getting assigned to this bike and this true is getting assigned to this car. Is this thing clear to you not? And now if I am running this code, so I will get my output accordingly. So now since I have passed, let me clear it. See, since I have passed true in place of bike, so in place of bike, I am getting true here. In place of car, I have passed true, so I am getting true here. And this is in place of travel 100 kilometers, this is bike or car. What true or true gives me? True or true will always give me true. So that's why we are getting true here. Yes. So what is the usefulness of this thing? You don't need to write the block of code again and again. You simply write one function, and whatever value you want to change, you can simply change the argument. You don't need to write, let's say, suppose I want this thing to be true and this thing to be false. This car to be false. So I simply pass this as an argument and I will run my code. Accordingly, these things get changed. If you want this to be both to be false, you have to simply change this value. Change your argument. And now if you run, so whatever we have done here, we are doing the same thing here, but we are doing this with the help of functions so that we are not repeating the, so that my code I am not, is not getting repeated again and again. Is this thing clear or not? Please tell me.
Clear.
Clear?
Hmm.
Fine. If these things are clear to you, so I suppose this is very good thing. Now, I am taking this same example and I'm trying to explain you two more things here. So if this thing is clear to you, then let's take the same example again. Let's take this example. This is the same thing. But here what I'm doing, I have passed this argument bike and I have put the value true here. And I have passed this argument car and put this value false here. This is called default argument. That means this is called default argument. Default argument. Default argument. Why this is called default argument? Because we have, by default, we have defined the value of bike as true and the value of car as false. So now we do not even need to pass an argument here, because by default it is taking these two arguments. So we do not need to define the argument again and again. Here, in all these four cases, we are defining an argument. This thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. Once true, true, then true, false, then false, false, like that. But here we have initially, when we have defined the function, we have defined my argument at the time of making the function. I have defined my argument, this bike value as true and car value as true. When we do like this, this is called default argument. Now, if I run this code and call this function here, I will get whatever is written inside my default argument. So if I simply run this code, see, whatever I have put inside, and this thing, this time I do not need to pass any argument here, because my argument is already defined. So we do not, argument is already mentioned, default argument is already mentioned. So we do not need to pass an argument here. If you simply call this function, we will get my output. Is this clear to you or not? Please tell me why you
No.
guys become silent. Guys,
No, I'm not getting this one.
what you are not getting here?
I'm not able to get this one.
This thing? This thing?
Yeah. The whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. So see, let me explain you. Mr. Shankar, are you able to get this?
No.
No. Fine. Let's concentrate here first. Then let's concentrate. So let me first tell you one joke. Are you guys want to listen some joke?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think it's become too heavy. So if you will, if anyone want to crack any joke, you are allowed to crack few jokes. Any one of you?
Sir, your video is not clear.
Okay, fine, not an issue. I have stopped my video so that you can concentrate on the board and not on my video.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
am telling you one joke. Just listen it carefully. Because
Okay.
there was one guy called Sankar and Pillai. What is his name? Sankar and Pillai.
Samparan
Pillai. So
Lai.
one day this guy Sankar and Pillai was in
But
bed.
you had told this joke yesterday, no?
No, this time this is another joke.
Okay, okay.
This is another joke. So don't confuse, because I have a joke for Sankar and Pillai. Thousands of jokes I have. This
Okay.
is one character called Sankar and Pillai, and on this character there is thousands of jokes. So this joke is a new joke for you. So one day Sankar and Pillai was in bed, and it was already 2 a.m. in the morning. It was already 2 a.m. He was rolling, turning around, twisting, tossing, and saying, "Are you guys hearing my voice?"
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you guys also put your unmute yourself, so that you can, whenever you will laugh, I will listen it. You're laughing. So he was very much tensed, and he was turning and twisting and saying, like that. So what is this? So see, this is an Indian way of expressing frustration. This is how we Indians express our frustration. Even love, anger, frustration, depression, everything has some cultural expressions. Hello? So, and this is a cultural expression for an Indian guys of saying, I am frustrated. If an Indian guy is frustrated, he can express the frustration in this way. Is it so?
Yes.
Can I get yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So his wife, who was lying next to him, and she also couldn't sleep because he was turning and tossing like this. She said, "What is the matter with you? It's already 2 a.m., 2 o'clock in the morning." So Sankar and Pillai said, see, you know our neighbor Jake? Yes, I know. So what I have to do with him? So see, I owe him $1,000. That is, he has taken $1,000 from his neighbor, whose name was Jake. And he has promised that, Sankaram Pillai told his wife that I told him that tomorrow morning I will give it to you. But I cannot give it to him. So his wife asked, why you cannot give it to him? He said, because I don't have money with me. So she looked at him in a very disgusting way. Then what she do? She just got up the bed, went to the window, opened the window, and started screaming, "You Jake, Jake, Jake!" And she started screaming loudly, "Jake, Jake, Jake!" Then, in the middle of the night, Jake opened the door window and said, "What happened, Mrs. Pillai? What happened?" "Jake, the $1,000 that my husband owes to you, he is not going to give it to you tomorrow because he hasn't have." After saying this, she banged the window, closed the door, came and slept. She said, "You sleep." To the Sankarim Pillai, now it's Jake problem. You just go and sleep. No laugh, nothing. So now, after Mr. Rakesh, are you there?
Yeah.
I suppose you understand where this is coming from.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I have copied all the jokes from Sadhguru. So fine. So let's come and now let's try to understand this once again. So maybe next time I will try to crack some more funny joke. So see, what is, see, first come here. First see here. What I am doing here. Are you guys able to understand this thing or not? Please tell me this thing. Both Ruchi and Mr. Shankar.
Yeah.
Mr. Shankar, you?
Yeah.
Fine. So to call this function, what I am doing here? To call this function, what I am doing? I am calling this function travel or not and passing the argument here. What argument I am passing? Whatever
True.
thing you are putting here, this true is taking the place of bike and this true is taking the place of car.
Car.
Is it fine?
Yes.
Now, this time when you are running the same function, you are just changing the argument. This argument is same true and this argument you have changed it to false. Fine?
Fine.
And accordingly you are getting this thing output.
Yes.
Shankar, Mr. Shankar,
Yes.
third time what you are doing?
False. False.
You are simply changing the argument.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again and again you are changing the argument. And here you have put in this generic argument, bike or car. This bike or car can take any value. Instead of true or false, if you can give anything, let's put your name here. Let's put Ruchi here. And let's put Shankar here. And let's run this. Oh, sorry. It should be a string. So this thing, Ruchi, and this Shankar. And now run this code. You will get here Ruchi or Shankar. So this is a generic thing. And you are, whatever you are putting it here, it is taking the place of bike. Whatever you are putting it here, it is taking the place of car. Is this thing clear to you or not? Ruchi,
Yes.
Mr. Shankar,
Yes.
is this thing
Yes.
clear to you or not?
Yes. Yes.
Fine. Now come here. Here I have done nothing. I have defined here that the value of bike is true and the value of car is false. In this thing, I have not defined it. But here, I have defined it that my value contains true, bike contains true, and this car contains false. So this is called default argument. This is called default argument. You understood this?
Yes.
Yes.
So now this time you do not need when you are calling this function, see here, when you are calling this function, you do not need to pass the argument inside it, because the default, or you have already defined your argument as a default argument. You have already, that's why in this case, see here, whenever you are calling a function, you are passing an argument. This argument or this argument or this argument you are passing. Am I right or wrong? But here, when you are calling a function, you are not passing any argument. Why you are not passing any argument? Because you have by default already defined your argument here. That you have told the value of bike should be true and the value of car should be so. So in the place of bike, always true will come, and in place of car, always false will come. Yes, see. And this is or, and true or false will always give me true. So here true is coming. Now, what is your problem here? Will you please tell me? Is this thing clear to you or not? Or any confusion?
Clear.
नहीं
So
है
whatever
confusion?
argument we will give it to the function name, that will automatically come in the result.
Yes. See here, I have given, this is a generic thing that I have given. If this was a generic argument which I was given at the time of defining a function. This can take any value. This thing can take any value. This car can take any value. Just like you have seen, I have passed Ruchi and Shankar, so it is taking the Ruchi and Shankar. But let's say if I defined Ruchi here, and Ruchi here as my default argument, and Radhe here, let's say Radhe here as my default argument. So now if I run this code, if I will not pass any argument inside this, still I am getting this, my output. See, I am getting invalid syntax. Okay, I have to write this here. Okay, fine. Now, so see, I am not passing any argument when I am calling my function. See, this is a blank. So what argument I am getting? The default argument which I have already passed inside my parenthesis. That argument I am getting. So what is the default value of bike? Ruchi. What is the default value of car? Radhe. So I am getting this. Now tell me, is this thing clear to you or not?
Yes.
Mr. Shankar?
And in the last one, travel 100
Yes.
kilometers. Why it is taking Ruchi only?
That's why I'm that's what I'm explaining you from this time. See, whenever I'm defining any function, I have to call that function. Here I'm calling this function. See, you have defined this function. Is this thing fine? And you have put the value of this bike argument as Ruchi and this car as Radhe. So this is the default argument that you have already given to your function. And now, since this is my default argument, I have already defined it. So I do not need to put an argument here. If I will not put an argument here and simply call, if I have to call this function, you have to call this function. Otherwise, the function will not work. There is two part. One part is defining a function. So here you have defined a function. Now, what the function is supposed to do, if you will not call the function will not give you the result. So here I am calling the function. When I am calling this function, I am getting this output. And in this output, when I am calling this function, I do not need to pass any argument inside it. Let's see, in spite of this Ruchi, now let's understand this in this way. I have now it will be clear to you. Is this thing clear to you or not? This function. Tell me, Ruchi.
Yes, clear.
Shall I run this code?
Yeah.
No. Tell me, if I want to call this function, what I shall write here?
Function name.
What is the function name? Tell me.
Travel underscore or underscore not.
Travel underscore or underscore not. Then
Parenthesis.
Then parenthesis. Then
Run the code.
run the code. Fine. Run this code. See.
Yeah. Mhm. Time.
See, that what I was trying to explain you. So now you will understand this, why you are getting this error. See, here at the time of defining this function, see here, understand here. Ruchi, concentrate
Yeah.
here, concentrate here. When I am defining this function, I have passed two arguments, this bike and this car. Is it fine?
Okay.
So when I
Yeah.
call this function, I have to pass two arguments here.
Okay.
If we do not pass the two argument here, it will give me an error. It will throw me an error. That's what it is saying. Missing two required positional argument. I have to supply two positional argument here.
Okay.
So tell me any two positional argument. Let's put Radhe here. Let's put Jesus, and let's put John as my two argument. Now, if I run this, I will get this thing output. Why it is happening? Because simply what this is doing, I have explained you at the starting only. This argument is taking the place of this bike, and this argument is taking the place of this car. In place of bike, you are giving this argument Jesus, and in place of car, you are giving this argument John.
Okay.
So these arguments are taking the place of these two values. It is filling these two values. And
Fine.
accordingly, I am getting the output, Jesus, John, and Jesus. Or whatever, if you put it true, false, or thing. Now tell me, have you understood this thing or not?
Yes.
If you understood this thing, now let me again explain you this thing. Tell me, Ruchi, what is the difference between this code and this code?
here we have not defined the argument. So when we call this function name, then we need to define the argument as well. In the second one, we have defined the argument, so we need not have to define it again,
Correct.
and we can call it.
So if I run this and if I simply call this without putting any argument inside it, my code will run. And it is taking that argument which I have defined at the time of function definition. Getting na?
Yes.
Mr. Misra, are you getting this thing or not?
Yes.
Fine. Now, let's see a next level thing. Now, let's see a very, very important thing here. Now, I am taking the same argument. Sorry, I am taking the same function here. Oh, fine. See, here we are not in this function definition, we are not supplying any argument, and we are getting what argument that we have already defined at the time of function definition. Now let's do one more important thing. We have already defined an argument, default argument, and now let's put some other thing here. Let's put big and let's put here ban. And now let's move. See what I'm getting. Now tell me the difference between these two. This function calling and this function calling. Mr. Misra, this time, this is your chance to tell me. Even Ruchi, you are also ready with your explanation. Or any one of you, please tell me. Don't take so much of time. Don't take so much of time. Why you people are like lost somewhere? What is the difference between these two? Can you guys speak something?
Yes.
So what is the difference between these two things? Please tell me.
In the first one, when we call the function, we have not defined the arguments. In the second one, we have defined the argument, and both the argument are string.
But in the first function, in the first thing, we are already defined this default argument and we are not supplying any argument here. So it is taking the default argument. But if we supply some argument, it will take that argument. This is called overriding the default argument value by passing our values. This thing is called very important thing. Overriding the default arguments by passing our value. It is overriding this default argument this time. So what is the conclusion here? If the argument, if we have already defined the argument at the time of function definition, and if we do not pass any argument at the time of function calling, we get the output as it is defined as as a default argument, or the argument that is defined at the time of function definition. But if you are supplying any argument, what this argument is doing, this is overriding the argument which is a default argument. So now this big is taking the place of this default argument Ruchi, and this ban is taking the place of this default argument Radhe. Is this thing clear or not? Please tell me.
Yes.
Yes.
So have you guys enjoyed today's class or not?
Yes.
Yes.
I suppose this is too much for today.
Correct.
So I need to stop here, and we will continue because the function will take few more classes. So we will continue, and I request you that tomorrow whenever you come to the class, so please revise all those things. Otherwise, next thing that I am going to explain, we will go above your head if you do not revise.
Okay.
So whatever thing that even I will upload this video tomorrow in the morning. So if you want, you can even rewatch the video so that you can revise it from there also, and then come so that you will not take much time to understand these things. Fine.
Fine.
So
Please upload this
yes,
sheet
yes.
or
So you need to wait. I will stop my recording here. And so guys, those of you who are watching the recorded session, you are most welcome to join my free classes. Okay, let me stop sharing me the screen first, and let me open my video here. And let's video. So guys, those of you who are watching my recorded session, you can come for my free classes. ज्ञान की वर्षा हो रही है, सब आइए, आनंद उठाइए, है ना? कोई पैसा नहीं लगेगा आपको, फ्री है, तो पढ़िए। तो ठीक है, यहाँ पे मैं फिर मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट टाइम. यू गाइस कीप लर्निंग एंड
okay.
and guys, those of you who are watching my recorded session, don't forget to subscribe this channel so that it will reach to the maximum number of people, and maximum number of people can get benefit from this free sessions.